published. This is number 9 of the book, number 9 of the Earthly Branches devotional series. And this book is called Grace. So I'll let you all know um, when that book is available, but we'll be studying that book for the rest of the month as well. Okay. I don't know what's happening here, but if I went offline or anything, I'm back. It looks like my live started over. So if you're here, thank you for being here. Welcome to Tea Time with Tara Live and On Air. Also, we're going to go forward in this to, you need to join, you should join, join the Stalk Your Destiny Academy. This is my new monthly membership I am rolling out. And with this, you'll receive a weekly email from me, which will have devotional in it. It will have some encouragement in it for you. It will have a personal share in there for you to know what's going on with me in my life, what's going on with my business or businesses, if you don't know about the multiple things I have going on. Also to just encourage you throughout your week, and give you some tools for accountability. So with the Stalk Your Destiny Academy, that membership, that's an $8 a month membership, you guys. And you can get to that membership by visiting www.stan.store/stalkyourdestiny. That's STAN.store, STORE/stalk-your-destiny. Okay. And you can go ahead and join the academy there. And also, what happens when you join the Stalk Your Destiny Academy, you'll be added to my private Facebook group or given access to join my private group on Facebook as well. And in that's where you'll find more tools for accountability, free downloads of planning and accountability tools. You'll get more encouragement there than you would in the newsletter that would come out each week. And you would also get the opportunity to level up and be able to join me live every Saturday to go over your goals or questions or things you have regarding stalking your destiny. Okay. So again, this is my new monthly membership. It's just $8 a month. Now, if you wanted to level up, that is an additional fee, but joining for monthly access and getting the newsletters and being added to the private group on Facebook is only $8 a month. And you can do that at www.stan.store/stalkyourdestiny. Also, when it comes to this space on the show, this is a space for sponsorship. You can, hold on, guys. I think I'm still here.
We'll return with Tea Time with Tara in just a moment. Seems like she had a little technical difficulty there. You can remember, download the free mini course at www.stan.store/stalkyourdestiny. Again, that's www.stan.store/stalkyourdestiny. Now back to the show.
And we're back. Sorry, guys, we had a little bit of technical difficulty there. But also, this space on the show is where you can sponsor an ad for your company, your products, your service, your community organization, or whatever it is you have going on, an event coming up. We do have over 200,000 listeners live every week and growing. And so here's a space where if you wanted to sponsor an ad space, this is where one of your ads could be placed on the show, which is right before our business topic of the week. Okay. And also, guys, in a couple weeks, we do have some guests coming on the show. So don't forget, you can sign up to be a guest on the show as well. I'll give you more of that information at the end of the show. And I'll give you more information on how to become a sponsor of the show at the end of the show as well. But I'm so excited for some of the guests that I am lining up for you all to to come on to the show and just share their expertise or their knowledge with you guys, because this is business and Bible basics. And so hearing other people's stories or just what they have going on, what they're working on, can help you go forward in your purpose, in your destiny, or just, having a better life. Or perhaps it just could be entertaining for you. Okay. So our business topic of the week this week is stalk your destiny. Now, I think I've done that topic before, and I don't quite remember. However, we're back at it again. If that's the case, if we've done stalk your destiny before, we're back with stalk your destiny is the topic of the week. Please ignore what's there. If you're watching online, what's scrolling is not the topic for this week. Okay. Um, So this week's topic is stalk your destiny. Okay. And so here I want to talk to you about using what's in your hands. Earlier when we did the food for thought quote, everything you want to become, you already are. Sometimes we feel scattered and sometimes we feel like we're just doing way too fucking much, like all over the place. Or those people who are like, oh, I've had 8 jobs in the last year or so, because you didn't like none of the jobs. Let's be clear. You didn't like any of those jobs. But you may have all of these gifts. You may have all of these talents. Okay. And so in stalking your destiny, sometimes you just have to, and I mentioned this before on a recent show, you just got to take inventory of what you have. And sometimes that just means going back over your journals and figuring out what was I talking about? What was on my mind? What was on my heart? Because y'all, it's 365 days in a year. And even people with the greatest memories can't remember every single day of every single year of their lives. Let's just be honest about that. Okay. So you can't hold on to every single thought you've ever had or every single interest you've ever had. Sometimes you pick things up and you put things down. As I mentioned before, as a child, I wanted to be an attorney. Okay. And yes, I'm still holding on to that. Okay. The plan was actually in my 40th years of life that I would try to go in that direction to pursue that. Okay. That was my plan. Okay. But use what's in your hand. What I have in my hands now in terms of being able to like do things in terms of law, is that in my company, I have written contracts for clients. Okay. Contracts and terms of agreement for clients. Okay. And so there are pieces here. So use what's in your hands. And there is an old movie, Sister Act 2. And in the movie, Whoopi Goldberg's character tells Lauryn Hill's character to read a book, this particular book. And I don't remember what the book is called, but she was trying to tell her what the book is about. And she said, if you wake up in the morning and you want to be a singer, you're supposed to be a singer, girl. And if you wake up in the morning and you want to be and all you want to do is write, you're supposed to be a writer. So oftentimes we don't pay attention to our likes, to our desires, okay, to the things that make us happy. And so with using what's in your hands, if you were like, okay, well, I used to write poetry. Well, I did too. And guess what I do with it now? Sometimes I write new poetry, but most times I just put my old poetry inserted into my books as if the characters are writers, as if the characters are poets, or they just do that to pass time. You can use that. You can use your old works and insert them in other places or other ways. You can turn your poetry into artwork. It's visual, right? Your poetry should include imagery, and you can paint a picture literally from the imagery described in the poetry. I hope that didn't go over too many people's heads, because I don't know if that's not written down. Okay, but that's an example of using what's in your hands. Or, if you're like, well, I'm doing this right now, and like I'm a stay-at-home mom. Okay, like one part of my life, I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. But in that time as a stay-at-home mom, I created the schedule for my kids. I started designing planners. I started doing all the things that I use and have used over the last 10 years in my company. I used what was in my hands. Like, you don't always need something new. Sometimes you just need you. And I'm going to say that again. for the people in the back. You don't always need something new. You just need you. Because if you purpose to show up and do and be your best, if you show up and be present, sometimes the things you just love to do or like to do is what's needed for someone else to go forward. It's what's needed for you to even have a new perspective on things. Okay? When you're going after your destiny, stalk your destiny. The things that you gravitate towards have something to do with who God called you to be. I promise you they do. The things that you gravitate towards, whether even if it's a negative thing, do you know that the negative things you gravitate towards could be the very thing God is trying to not only free you of, but allow you to have experiences in so you can help other people get free? You know, that struggle that you've been having for all of these years, that addiction you've been having for all of these years. Sometimes we're allowed to go through those things, and it could be because of our choice. We're hard-headed. You know, God may say, put that down, go the other way, and we might be hard-headed. Or some, you know, with addiction, it's not just a simple matter of turning away from it. That's the first step. That's not the whole of it, right? But what if God allowed you to go through that to clean you up and turn you around and have you to go back and understand and empathize with those folks who try, or fail? Okay? Rethink those things. What if your heart aches for children who've been abused because you're supposed to be the one to care for them or train people to care for them properly? Use what's in your hands. Okay? And so nothing that we have is in vain. Okay? Like, and if you're anything like me, you've probably tried so many different things, especially if you've lived some decades, y'all. If you've lived some decades in life, and you've dabbled in this, you've dabbled in that, you've cooked, you've cleaned, you did all the things, right? Construction, you went to school for business, all these different things, right? And you feel like nothing's working. It's not even coming together. Guess what? It's gonna come together. And I thought I wrote this down and I might have just thought about it, but you may not understand now, but later on you will. That's a proverb. I don't know what proverb it is, but I believe that's in Proverbs. You may not understand now, but later on you will. Okay? How it all works together. Why nothing is in vain. Sometimes we think we just lose things. We think that God just took something away from us, like God's just punishing us. And that's not the case. Sometimes God is removing us and uprooting us from people, places, and things that He knew came to destroy us. From people, places, and things that if we stayed too long, we would crumble. Okay? Or we weren't willing to leave and God had to uproot us. You weren't willing to leave that job. You weren't willing to leave that relationship. You weren't willing, but guess what? Even leaving those places is not in vain. Even being in those places is not in vain. Okay? Because it can be used for your greater good. We know that Romans 8:28, which I've said many a times, is that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, who are the called according to His purpose. Or as I like to say it, in all things, God works. In all things, God works. So there's a time for everything. And sometimes we got to be willing to look like a fool for God. Sometimes we got to be willing to look like a fool when we're going after our destiny. And you know what? Let me go back a little bit. With Stalk Your Destiny, why is it so much connected to the Bible? It's so much connected to the Bible because stalking your destiny is about identity, direction, and accountability. Okay? And so it's about your identity in Christ. It's about who God created you to be. That is exactly what this is. Stalking your destiny. Who am I, Lord? Who did you call me to be? Direction. Where am I in my life? Where am I going? And accountability. How am I going to get there? Okay? So that's why it's all coming back to the Bible. This is why it's all coming back to what God called you to be, what God is putting on your heart, you know, what God is showing you right in your face. Be willing to be a fool, y'all, because I'd rather be a fool and it work out in the end than try to remain safe and fuck myself up or over. Okay? And what I mean by that is, if you know my journey personally, you would know that it makes no damn sense. It does not make sense at all. And I look like a fool. I look foolish to those who don't understand. I look foolish to those who don't know what God is doing. You can't see what God is doing. I look foolish to those who don't have the gift of prophecy to know what's ahead of me. I look foolish because I have been willing to sacrifice everything, everything, to still not have all that God has promised me. But what did I say? There's a time for everything. Some people are looking at the year of the Lord's favor. Some people are looking at the devastation. Some people like me are out here looking like a fool. But I will always remain in looking like a fool when it comes to being obedient to God. When it comes to being obedient to God, okay? And so in that, you're going to face warfare, right? When you choose to say, okay, God, I'm going in your direction. I want to stalk my destiny. I want to reach my purpose. I want the year of the Lord's favor. I want a life of favor. God, I want your grace, right? Well, what do they say? Hold on to your bootstraps, because you're in for a ride. You're in for a ride, okay? And so in this way, you have to process your emotions and move on, because life will happen. Y'all, I have canceled this show sometimes because life was happening. I mean, life was slapping me in the face, okay? Warfare was raging. This is not something that you carry lightly. When you go after your purpose and your destiny, please understand there's beauty on the other side of it. There's beauty sometimes in each day, in each moment as well. However, when you are called and chosen, that responsibility will also comes with warfare. And sometimes the warfare can be preparation. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes that warfare, those trials you face, that tribulation, those hard things, the heartache can be preparation for the next level. Okay? And other times it can just be the enemy trying to stop you or get you to give up or forfeit what God already said was yours. He already said it was yours. Okay? He said, I will plant you on the land which I have given you. That's Amos 9:15. Okay? And so in that, if you want to go after your purpose and your destiny, and you're like, but I'm sick of this shit. It's hard. I just want to leave it alone. I don't even want to do this anymore. Then don't do it. Then fine, forfeit your future. Okay? Or just rest. Or give it over to God and let God do it with you. Okay? Because I heard something. Where was I at yesterday? I forget where I was at. But in your weakness, I was at a symposium on Saturday. That's what it was. And they mentioned that in your weakness, in our weakness is when God comes in and makes us strong. His strength for our weakness. Okay? So when you go through hard times, process your emotions. Don't get stuck there. It's going to hurt. Don't get stuck in your emotions. Okay? And sometimes you just got to be there for a minute while you process them. Okay? But I always say, like, if you get knocked down, don't stay down. Roll over and get up. Okay? Roll over and get up if you get knocked down. Roll over and get up. Yes, you got knocked down. Life is beating the crap out of you. Yes, it is. Okay? He got you going to and fro. You don't know which way is up. Okay? However, don't allow it to overtake you. You are stronger than what you're going through. You are bigger, greater. What you're going to is bigger and greater than what you're going through. But if you're going through, like I was driving through rain the other day, I was riding. I was not driving. I was in the car. I was riding through some storms. And I told the driver, I said, it's funny that to keep going through it, because the only way to get to the other side of a storm is to go through it. If you stop in the storm, then you have to wait for the storm to pass you by. Okay? But going through the storm, you get through it. Okay? So Don't stop in a heavy downpour of bullshit in your life. Don't just give up there. Okay? You didn't get to the crap to stay in it. Let's be clear. Nobody wants to stay stinky. Nobody nobody wants to stay in crap. Okay? And so you got to process your emotions. Well, I don't know how to process my emotions. I'm just mad. I'm just angry. I'm just sad. I'm just this. I'm just that. Okay, well then tell me, what do you want to be? What do you want to feel? Excuse me. How do you want your life to look after this? And what can you do about it? What can you do with what you already have about the situation or circumstance you are currently in? And y'all, I'm not being funny when I ask that question. What can you do with what you already have about the situation or circumstance you are currently in? And that can piss some people off. If you're anything like me, it can piss you off at first, because what you want to do is hold the people accountable who were a part of why you got to that place. Oh, well, because so-and-so did this, now this changed, and they said this, now that has changed. And that's fine and dandy to know who did what, where, when, why, and how. But at the end of the day, it's not about what they've done. It's about, can you navigate around it now? And that doesn't mean that your feelings or emotions are invalid. It means definitely feel what you feel and validate your own emotions. You don't need anybody else to validate what you feel or how you feel about something that was done to you. But you do, and you are responsible for how you navigate that, how you get over it or around it. Okay? There are people that are workers of iniquity intentionally. The Bible tells us about workers of iniquity. There are people that literally wake up every day to put a foot in your ass, put a block for you to fall and stumble over, throw water on you. There are people assigned to do those things. Isn't that's terrible? That is terrible to know that there are people who wake up just to be a thorn in your side. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What did Paul say about the thorn in his side? You're going to have to go read that. I think that's in Philippians. You're going to have to go read that. Some people literally wake up to throw you off your block, knock you off your block or square or whatever. They literally wake up to fuck with you. Like, this is real. So every situation you face, if you're the person with road rage and all of that stuff, cut that shit out. Because you're not going to be able to control those people around you. You're only going to be able to say, I want to keep my peace today, or I'm about that life today. I hope you choose peace. I hope you choose peace. But you're going to have to determine, this was not where I was coming to. I wasn't coming to bullshit and somebody trying to stop my day from being beautiful. I'm going to another place, and I need to get around this person or this thing in my life. I need to get my footing under me. I need to be girded up. I need to have peace of mind when I get to where I'm going. I want this journey to be fun, adventurous, happy, and light. Okay? Yes, we can all wake up and choose violence, but in most cases, choosing violence, the best violence you can choose is to be happy, peaceful, and successful. And I know, because I have, last week I woke up 2 days in a row and chose violence, and the Lord had to deal with me on just my thoughts towards that. My thoughts towards the situation that I had been walked into. Okay? And I had to ask for forgiveness. Like, I had to ask God to forgive me for having those thoughts, because I was waking up choosing violence. I was waking up choosing to retaliate when the Bible says vengeance is mine. Now, I didn't retaliate, but my thoughts were definitely there. And where your mind goes, your body follows. So you have to take captive your thoughts. Okay. So don't be the person that wakes up and chooses violence. Don't be the person that wakes up and chooses to fuck up your own life. Don't be the person that chooses to wake up and spend time getting revenge on miserable ass people. Let them stay where they are. Choose joy. Choose peace. God's grace is sufficient for us all, y'all. So process your emotions and move on, because life is going to keep happening. And when you're going after your destiny, there's going to be distraction after distraction after distraction. You have got to decide what you will allow to distract you or what you will allow to fuel you forward. Okay? That was our show today, guys. This was the topic today was stalk your destiny. Okay? So if you love what we're doing here, guys, and I know y'all do because you keep coming back every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you love what we're doing here, hey, you have a product, a service, a company, an organization, an event, whatever it is you have, we would love to have you sponsor an ad on the show. Become a sponsor of the show. Let us tell the world about who you are and about what you have going on. This is a great show. Y'all are tuning in every week. Many of you are tuning in all the time, and we're growing. So I would love to be the one to share with the world what you have going on with your life, with your company. Or if you just want to shout somebody out, y'all, you can do that too. You can sponsor a shout out. Okay, and tell me all about it. Okay, submit a story or something. I shout them out. Okay, but you can for sponsorship information, you can send me an email at teatimewithtara. That's TEATIMEWITHTARAH @gmail.com. Again, that's teatimewithtara@gmail.com. And I will send you our sponsorship packages and get more details about what it is you would like to sponsor and what that looks like for you. Okay. Also, if you wanted to just make a donation and you're like, well, I don't necessarily want to sponsor a show, but I love what you're doing here and I want to help you keep it going, because production does cost, y'all. Airtime does cost. And even more, we want to grow on YouTube. We want to grow in this to share with more people business and Bible basics, in a down to earth perspective. Okay. And so with that, you can send donations to Cash App at $Stalk Your Destiny. You can send donations via Venmo at Stalk Your Destiny, or you can send them through PayPal at paypal.me/Stalk Your Destiny. Excuse me. Again, you can do that through Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal if you wanted to send just a donation to the show, just to show support for what we're doing here and how we're growing. You can do that at Stalk Your Destiny for either one of those. And again, if you want to become a community sponsor or sponsor an ad on the show, please send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show, please send me an email also at teatimewithtara@gmail.com, because then you'll get the information on how to do that and what it's about being a guest on the show. Okay. We would love to have you on. If you have something to share that's in the business topic or you want to share in the devotional time, let me know. Send me an email, teatimewithtara@gmail.com. Don't forget, guys, to join my new monthly membership with the Stalk Your Destiny Academy. Y'all only have me for 1 hour a week on this show, on this platform. Excuse me, but you can get more of what I share here by signing up for the membership at the Stalk Your Destiny Academy. That's at stan.store/Stalk Your Destiny. And again, that's only $8 a month. You get a weekly newsletter or email from me, and you get access to my private Facebook group where you can level up and join me live every Saturday for more accountability tools, encouragement, motivation, and that's more one-on-one where you can speak to me directly via Zoom every Saturday with that. So join the Stalk Your Destiny Academy. at stan.store/stalk-your-destiny. Okay. If you want to visit just my website, you're just like, well, who are you? I'm just new to this. My website is www.stalkyourdestiny.com. That's stalkyourdestiny.com. And if you want to follow me on TikTok, that is Stalk Your Destiny. So pretty much everything is either looks like everything is Stalk Your Destiny. Okay. And so that is our show for today. I hope you love the show. I'll have more on our topic about grace, guys, because God's grace is sufficient for you. I really do hope that this show encouraged you today and keeps you going, because everything you want to become, you already are. Okay. You don't have to be seeking outside of you for what God called you to be or who God called you to be. Just know that you have what you need in your hands, even if it's just to get started now. Even if it's making a cup of tea, which is where Tea Time with Tara started, Joe, with 1 cup of tea and then 1 gallon of tea that I shared with a group of women. Tea Time with Tara. It started with what I had in my hands, a cup of tea. Okay? So if I can do it, you can do it too. All right, y'all? This has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I'm your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Don't forget to head over to my YouTube channel, press the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with somebody, you guys. Also, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I go live or upload new videos or shorts. And catch episodes of my other show, seasons 1 and 2 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests and ask them what they needed along the way to stalking their destiny. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok at Stalk Your Destiny or on Facebook at Tara M. Williams. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Thanks for tuning in. It's Tea Time with Tara, live and on air on BFAM 1096.com. I'll see y'all next week, Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground, 'cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you choosing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put a hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, no hiding out. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want mile to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is having, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game. So speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chase them.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it go, but I won't lose ground, 'cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.